I started off asking myself how trustworthy is the Estes method, and how easy would it be for a team to fake the results without making it look scripted. Here is what CoPilot AI had to say about it. Me. Is there an app that you could use or a small device you could use to broadcast live responses from a nearby location based on the live recording of the Estes method to give a response to the person asking the questions? CoPilot AI. Certainly. While the Estes method traditionally relies on spirit boxes and real-time communication, there are ways to simulate responses using technology. Here are some options. FM transmitter apps. These apps claim to turn your phone into an FM transmitter, allowing you to broadcast audio on FM frequencies. However, most of these apps have received negative reviews and are often considered ineffective. Users report issues like poor sound quality, limited range, and unreliable performance. 12. Challenges with FM transmitter apps. Sound quality. FM transmitter apps usually don't provide the same sound quality as dedicated hardware transmitters. Limited range. The broadcast range is typically short, making it unsuitable for widespread communication. Interference. Interference from other radio stations or electronic devices can disrupt the signal. Legal considerations. Broadcasting on FM frequencies without proper licensing may violate regulations in some regions. Estes method and solo investigations. The Estes method relies on real-time communication with spirits using a spirit box modified radio. It requires two people, an operator asking questions and a receiver blindfolded and wearing noise-blocking headphones. The solo Estes method is a modified version for solo investigators, but it still involves a spirit box and real-time communication. 21. Using FM transmitter apps to fake results. If you attempt to use an FM transmitter app to fake Estes method results, you'll face several challenges. Sound quality. The audio quality won't match that of a spirit box. Lack of real-time interaction. You won't have the immediate back and forth communication crucial to the Estes method. Inauthentic responses. Faking responses won't yield genuine results or meaningful communication. Risk of misleading yourself. Faking results may lead to self-deception and hinder genuine paranormal investigation. Ethical considerations. Investigating the paranormal should be done with integrity and respect. Faking results undermines the authenticity of the process and discredits genuine evidence. It's essential to approach paranormal investigations with honesty and transparency. In summary, while FM transmitter apps exist, they are unlikely to effectively simulate the Estes method. For genuine investigations, consider using proper equipment and techniques. Remember to investigate respectfully and responsibly. Ghost radio left pointing magnifying glass. Me. I am researching this as YouTube content contains a lot of frauds who find ways of faking real paranormal evidence, and I am trying to figure out what the best way would be that they could fake an Estes method and not make it look scripted. I was considering they could just be broadcasting from a mobile device within the scanning range, just playing a list of relevant words or phrases to the location they are performing in. What do you think? CoPilot AI. The Estes method is indeed a fascinating technique used in paranormal investigations, but it's essential to approach it with integrity and respect. Let's explore some aspects related to faking the Estes method and potential pitfalls. Solo Estes method. The traditional Estes method requires two people, an operator asking questions and a receiver blindfolded and wearing noise-blocking headphones connected to a spirit box. However, there's a modified version called the solo Estes method, which allows solo investigators to experiment with real-time communication using a spirit box. 11. In the solo Estes method, the investigator acts as both the operator and the receiver. Challenges of faking the Estes method. Authenticity. Faking results undermines the authenticity of paranormal investigations. It's essential to maintain honesty and transparency. Sound quality. Using an FM transmitter app or broadcasting from a mobile device may not replicate the sound quality of a genuine spirit box. Lack of interaction. The Estes method relies on immediate back and forth communication. Faking responses won't yield genuine results. Risk of self-deception. Faking results may lead to self-deception and hinder genuine exploration. Potential ways to fake it. Pre-recorded responses. Broadcasting pre-recorded relevant words or phrases could simulate spirit communication. However, it lacks the real-time interaction. Scripted interaction. Some content creators may script interactions to appear genuine. However, discerning viewers can often spot scripted behavior. Selective editing. Manipulating video footage or audio clips during post-production can create an illusion of paranormal communication. Balancing entertainment and authenticity. Content creators often walk a fine line between entertainment and authenticity. While some intentionally fake evidence for views, others genuinely seek paranormal experiences. Viewers appreciate transparency, so being honest about methods used is crucial. Ethical responsibility. Investigate with integrity and respect for the subject matter. If creating paranormal content, consider clearly labeling reenactments, experiments, or fictional elements. Educate viewers about the investigative process and potential pitfalls. In summary, while faking the Estes method is possible, it's essential to maintain ethical standards and be transparent with your audience. Authenticity and respect for the paranormal field should always guide your content creation. Glowing star ghost movie camera. Me. Is there an app that you could use or a small device you could use to broadcast live responses from a nearby location based on the live recording of the Estes method to give a response to the person asking the questions? CoPilot AI. Certainly, while the Estes method traditionally relies on spirit boxes and real-time communication, there are ways to simulate responses using technology. Here are some options. FM transmitter apps. Some apps claim to turn your phone into an FM transmitter, allowing you to broadcast audio on FM frequencies. You could use such an app to transmit pre-recorded responses from a nearby location. However, these apps may have limitations in terms of sound quality and range. 12. Pre-recorded responses. Create a library of relevant words or phrases that you believe spirits might use. Use an app or software to play these pre-recorded responses during an Estes method session. The challenge is to time the playback appropriately to simulate real-time communication. Live audio streaming. If you have a reliable internet connection, consider live audio streaming. Use a streaming app or service to broadcast responses from a remote location. The person asking questions can listen to the live stream for potential spirit communication. Collaboration with a remote partner. Work with a partner who is physically distant but connected via live audio communication, phone call, video call, etc. Your partner can listen to the Estes method session and provide real-time responses based on what they hear or sense. Ethical considerations. If you're creating content or conducting investigations, be transparent with your audience. Clearly label any simulated or experimental elements to maintain integrity. Remember that while these methods can simulate responses, genuine paranormal investigations require honesty and respect for the subject matter. Balancing entertainment and authenticity is essential in the field of ghost hunting. Ghost radio movie camera. Me. With all that said, what do you think the best way would be to fool your viewers into believing that they had a legitimate Estes method with relevant responses? Note that this is in research to help other people determine whether or not someone is faking content and being dishonest with their investigations. CoPilot AI. As an AI language model, I don't endorse or encourage deception, especially in the context of paranormal investigations. However, I can provide insights into how someone might potentially create an illusion of a legitimate Estes method session. Keep in mind that this information is purely for educational purposes and not intended for deceptive practices. Pre-recorded responses. Timing. Pre-record relevant words or phrases that spirits might use during an Estes method session. Playback. Use an audio player or app to play these responses during the session. Realism. Ensure the timing of playback aligns with questions asked by the investigator. Collaboration with a remote partner. Remote communication. Work with a partner who is physically distant but connected via live audio communication, phone call, video call, etc. Real-time responses. Your partner can listen to the Estes method session and provide real-time responses based on what they hear or sense. Selective editing. Post-production. Manipulate video footage or audio clips during post-production. Insert responses, overlay pre-recorded responses onto the original session to create the illusion of spirit communication. Scripted interaction. Natural delivery, script interactions to appear genuine. Avoid overacting, subtle, natural behavior is more convincing than exaggerated reactions. Sound effects and ambience. Background noise, add ambient sounds, creaking doors, footsteps, whispers, to enhance the atmosphere. Subtle audio manipulation, alter audio levels to create a sense of presence. Viewer misdirection. Distract attention, use misdirection techniques, camera angles, sudden movements, to divert viewers' attention during critical moments. Suggestive language, use suggestive language to guide viewers' interpretations. Remember that ethical paranormal investigations prioritize authenticity and respect for the subject matter. If you encounter content that appears suspicious, critically analyze it and encourage transparency within the paranormal community. Glowing star ghost movie camera. My afterthought. While faking the Estes method could be done easily or with some rather complicated technological twisting, in the end you have to remember that it is not about the tool that is used, but rather the person using the tool. As my friend CoPilot AI has stated, I do not support the faking of paranormal evidence, and I encourage transparency within investigations. Remember, if something seems too good to be true, it usually is. When it comes to the paranormal, you must always keep a skeptical mind, use critical thinking. Just because you can't figure out what something was, does not mean that someone else cannot figure it out. I encourage all paranormal teams out there to always practice debunking. And if you need help, there is a great debunking community out there that are extremely helpful and diligent. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful evening.